Hey guys, we have yet another launch from Nvidia, and this is a 5070 Ti card. It sits in between the 5080 that was recently released and an upcoming 5070. This particular card is actually closer to the 5080. It comes with just short of 9,000 CUDA cores. Just as a reminder, the 5080 was almost 11,000. On the other hand, the upcoming 5070 is going to have only around 6,000 CUDA cores, so it's a considerable cut down version. This still has the same 16 gigabytes of GDDR6 memory, and it's still got quite a lot of power under the hood. This particular card is from Gigabyte, and it's their mid-range card from their AERO series. Let's open up and see what we've got inside. As usual, we have a little pouch with all the documentation. So in here we have our warranty, a little installation guide, and a quick start guide. So the installation guide is mostly going to be for your mount in terms of getting the graphics card retention bracket in place. So we've got the card itself, and it is chunky. Let's just leave that to the side first. Let's go through the accessories. We've got the PCIe cable, and as you can see, it still uses a triple converter, a triple 8-pin converter, which goes obviously to the more than 16-pin. It just shows the fact it's still got a lot of power built in. Then we have the bracket parts themselves. So you have the little foot that goes to the bottom of your case, and then you're going to need one of these bad boys to select what height you want it to be. And after that, what you need to do then is connect this up to the graphics card, and this will then sit here. So this basically connects to the back of the graphics card here, like this. Screws it in, and then you attach it to this. So it basically just holds it in place in your case. For the graphics card itself, it has this slick silver and white color scheme, and it's using a triple fan design. I do like that the flow-through design is completely unobstructed, so the air that goes through this side of the fan just comes out straight to the other side with basically nothing in this cutout, which is really nice. As far as the backplate is concerned, I can't see any thermal pads in between the backplate and the actual PCB. So this is just aesthetic, but it is metal. And most of the shroud on the front is plastic, but it doesn't look too bad. It's definitely a girthy card, that's for sure. And it has a bunch of heat pipes. You can actually see it from here quite well. You have a bunch of heat pipes inside there. And on this end, I believe I've counted 8 heat pipes across here, like quite evenly spaced out. So it's definitely a lot in there. Obviously at the bottom here, we've got our PCIe slot, and we've got a 16X slot, which is PCIe Gen 5. This card boasts the same 16 gigabytes of GDDR7 memory, like the 5090 and 5080, which is nice. The tier down will have only 12 gigabytes. And I believe this card is running on a 256-bit bus. So you definitely still have a lot of bandwidth in there, but we'll have to check out the reviews when they come out for the actual performance. I do like that the connector for the power is recessed, so you can kind of hide the connector a bit further in and just have the cable coming out. I would have liked to have a connector and a little trace here, so you can kind of route the cable around. But I also understand that not every case is going to support it, because it really depends where you want to route the cable. So making sacrifices on cooling might not be the best idea. As far as the card is concerned, Gigabyte actually has a 5080 AERO, and it's actually an SFF card. So it's a little bit smaller and slimmer than this. So don't get confused, because it looks like Gigabyte does not have an SFF 5070 Ti, only the 5080 version. So this is definitely a thicker card, and you're probably going to struggle to install this inside any SFF build, unless it's not really SFF by that point, like a Fractal mini case, which is not really mini at all. But what it does, it provides a lot more cooling capacity for the GPU here. In terms of the power, Gigabyte still recommends putting a 750 watt power supply to your system to power this card, or obviously the rest of your system, which just indicates that it's not exactly going to be sipping power. But I'm hoping that the cooler on this is going to keep the card cool and quiet. And I think it will, because ultimately this is a third fastest card in the series right now, and this is still a big cooler. On the back we have 4 connectors for video out. There's 3 display 2.1 connectors as well as 1 HDMI, which is nice because it's the new DisplayPort connectors which support higher bandwidth. We actually have a monitor review coming up. It's an Asus monitor which can handle 4K at 240 Hz uncompressed. So something like this would be probably at its limit to drive that monitor, also depending on the game you play. With this card, besides its power considerations, I've already mentioned it's not an SFF kind of card. But if you're upgrading from a system from 6 or 7 years ago, you're more than likely upgrading from a system which used a much smaller graphics card. If you're buying this, make sure to double check the sizing. This particular card comes at 340mm in length, which is definitely sizable. Older cases were not really meant for these kind of cards, so do double check so you're not stuck with a new graphics card that you can't install inside your case. Other than that, what do you think about this design? Is this one of the cards you're looking to buy, or are you looking for more normal black and red or other kind of design? Let us know in the comments below. And also, don't forget to subscribe. And we'll see you guys in the next one.